Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 12, Budget and Performance Review. This is the 7th step of the 8-part Google Ads audit checklist. Let's open up our audit checklist template and jump back into it. All right, so we're here, Budget and Performance Review. This is where you're going to need to do a lot of exporting of data, and I'm going to show you how to do this for pulling the budget performance by campaign. If you're not familiar with Excel, it's a great skill to develop because we're going to use pivot tables to just make our life easier. If you're auditing a small account, it's not necessary. You can just pull the number in Google Ads. But if you're dealing with a large account, this is where Excel is going to be your best friend. So let me just go ahead and show you. So I went ahead and exported this, and I downloaded this into a CSV of this campaign report. And I'm going to open up this campaign report, and we're going to format this so that we can see what we need. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And let's just go ahead and clean this report up. So I'm going to delete these header rows, the totals here. And what we want to do is we're going to want to create labels for these different things that we want to report on. So going back to our checklist, we want to know what is the performance by campaign theme. So if the account that you're auditing does not have good naming conventions, you're going to have to go into the campaign and understand what's the theme that they're advertising on. Is it a brand campaign? Is it a non-brand? Is it a competitive campaign? Is it RLSA? Is it content? It can take a lot of work to do an extensive audit. So that's why hopefully they do have good naming conventions and you can just easily sort by it. But if not, then that's what you'll have to do. So I'm going to create a custom column here of region. So in my case with this client, all of their campaigns are in North America. So that makes things pretty easy. So I just do North America, and that's pretty much the end of it. But if it wasn't just North America, maybe like these were EMEA, then I would label those EMEA, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to actually put this into a table. So let's just put that there. You can just do Command A on your keyboard, and then Command T or Control T, and then you can put it into a table, or you can just do you can do it through the menu. So from there, we've got our region label. I'm going to go now and create one of theme. So I need to label these themes. So we've got different themes here. So competitive, brand, competitive, non-brand, competitive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter my campaign names here by non-brand to find all the non-brand ones. Okay. And let's go ahead and label that. So these are going to be all of our non-brand campaigns. And we're going to just keep doing this. So now we'll do brands. And you got to be careful because sometimes non-brand and brand are similar. So looks like they only have 2. Okay, next is competitive. Here we're going to label those. All right, and let's see if we're missing anything. An easy way to know is if you select all the campaigns and you go by theme. If you see anyone that has a blank value, then you know you're missing one. So we're good. We've got all of our themes. We've got our region. Let me go back here just looking ahead. I'll show you how to pull the data for these in a sec. But now let's go ahead and understand what's the spread of budget and performance by campaign theme. So if I come here, and you don't, I'm showing you guys how to do with Excel, assuming, you have to do it with no third-party tools. But if you have some sort of reporting platform, you can use that too. But I'm just showing you how to do it the manual way. So we've got our themes, our region. I've got our visibility metrics here. I've got impressions, clicks, CTR, cost, conversions. I've got SQLs, which is great. So I'm going to put this now into a pivot table. And we're going to put the theme as our row. And then we'll put cost as our value and conversions. And now you can see, I'll zoom in here. I can really easily see, and I can even sort. So I can see, okay, what have they invested in the most versus the least? So let's just take a look here. So we've got 27K in non-brand, 5 conversions, 12K in brand, 4.5 in competitive, and I can see the difference in performance for each. So now I can grab these values and I can come back here. I can just leave a note to myself. I can say non-brand, brand, and competitive. Right? Just leave a note to myself. So now we have the budget spread by theme, and now we have the performance. So one thing I want to stress is if you're using pivot tables and you're using the label feature, you're averaging an average, which is incorrect. So what you want to do is you want to create a calculated field. So the way you would do that is you do that calculated field, and then you need to recreate the formula so that it's accurate. So if I wanted to see cost per conversion, I would do cost divided by conversions. Ideally, I would do it not just based on cost per conversions, but based on the conversion action the client cares about. So it would be SQLs. So that's what I'm going to do. Cost divided by sales qualified lead. And I'm going to do cost per SQL. And I'm going to show you in a minute what I mean by this. So you can see it's telling us our cost per SQL is $13,671. And we can just double check our work here. So if we take this and we divide it by this, let me see, 27,342. Let me see if I did this wrong. 5 cost by conversions. So we have $5,468, and you can see we have 13,671, right? So let's just take a look and see where we went wrong. So what do you think went wrong? It's because we have cost, and this is the conversion count. So make sure you're always looking at your headers, right? So this is if we had 5 conversions, but we don't actually have 5 SQLs, because conversions is the total and SQLs is the specific conversion action. So make sure you're always double checking your work when you're doing this, because it's very easy to make a mistake. So now what we would do is we remove conversions and we would put SQL and we would move it down here. And now you can see if I put the correct number, which is 2, it's 13,671, 13,671. Now, if I were to just put the cost per SQL, the standard field from what we got from Google Ads, you see it's saying our cost per SQL is $898, which is incorrect. Because if you take this divided by this, it's this. And the reason why is because it's averaging an average. So just make sure you're always using a calculated field for any of your cost per metrics or any of your percentage metrics. So that way it renders properly. So anyways, from here, I can go down this rabbit hole and spend time mapping all this out. But we've got non-brand, brand, competitive. So now I'm just going to take a note of this and just drop a note of like, okay, non-brand, we have a cost per SQL of 13,671. And so on and so forth. And I would go down the line. So I'll keep it there for the sake of simplicity and being within our 10 minutes here. But go ahead and do the same for yourself. And you're going to figure out the spread of budget and performance by each one of these things in your account. Your action item for this lesson is to review your campaigns and mark each completed step within the template. And go ahead and use Excel and leverage the pivot table functionality. If possible, you can download a device report. You can download a match type report. All of that using the same exact methodology. Just group the different rows together in a pivot table to be able to report on performance. I hope you received a ton of value so far. Please share AdConversion with your colleagues or leave us a testimonial. We appreciate your help spreading the word. See you in the next one.